today I'm reviewing the Youth to the People Adaptogen Deep Moisture Cream. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money. I'll never waste your time with sponsored ads or videos. So if you want to help support the channel, check out nobsbeauty.com, check out my Patreon community, or click on the Amazon link below. Okay, so today we've got floral, and this is Vicky's Beanie Baby. And thankfully, neither Ike nor Lincoln were going to mess with that one. So, okay, they call this, I've got a few interesting things to discuss about this one, but really quick, Youth to the People calls this a hydrating moisturizer with superior plant extracts and a pro-grade peptide complex formulated for dry, reactive, and sensitive skin. So, let me get to my first criteria, which is packaging, and I will mention, I bought this in the full size when it first came out a few years ago, and before I could finish it, sometimes they take a long time to finish certain products, especially if they're expensive. I try and use them frugally. Before I could get to the bottom of it and finish it, the very last third of the product just ended up in a dry clump in the bottom of the jar. So since it happened, I've had that happen with one other Youth to the People product as well. Now I just pick up their trial sets and I get littler, smaller jars that I can finish before they go bad. So I got that one in a set. I got this one in another set. So it's worth checking these out in sets and checking the size out. And sometimes you can get them in Sephora boxes and things like that. So it's worth in doing some research, depending on how fast you use certain products up. This one is a little more pricey, so I know I was using a little bit more sparingly. So it's something worth checking out. This, I think I got in there, they had a gift set. This one's a ½ ounce. This one's a little smaller, but I finished several of these now before they've been able to go bad. So keep that in mind. If you use things very quickly, then you probably won't have an issue with that, but especially when things are more pricey, I just like to use them faster. And especially since this brand doesn't tend to use tons of preservatives, they do use some, but it just has a tendency to go bad faster. I had one product, this was before I really got into things. It was a product my mom bought me, a Pavonia product that came in a jar, which is really expensive. And I used it, and then a week later I went and opened the jar. Literally, there was nothing in the jar. Like, anything that was in there evaporated. There was nothing in that jar. It was empty. I was shocked. And it was like probably $100 my mom spent on it. So that was at least 4 or 5 years ago, so. Anyway, that's why I dislike jars. For that reason, as well as the good ingredients in there can degrade over time. So, not a fan of the jar packaging. In terms of denatured or drying types of alcohol, this does contain phenethyl alcohol, which is typically used as a preservative and to give some things a bit of a fragrance. When it's not used in super high amounts, you won't notice a scent as much. And most people won't have sensitivity issues to phenethyl alcohol, but there are some people that do. So I wanted to mention that. Then in terms of fragrance, other than that phenethyl alcohol, there's no fragrance ingredients or essential oils. And to be honest, it really doesn't have much of a noticeable scent at all. So no issues with that. The manufacturing location for this one is the US, and no issues with that. Ease of use. I wonder if, I do have a little spatula, thankfully. So since I buy these in smaller jars, I don't even worry about transporting them or whatever. You can use this morning and evening. Apply it to skin until it's fully absorbed, which is very easy. It absorbs pretty nicely, although I will say, depending on what else you use it with, sometimes this will set to a slightly tacky finish. And if you use another product over this, then it's not going to be an issue. If you use this in your daytime routine, you're going to apply a sunscreen over it. Of course, not an issue. I also like to use this in my morning routine. I'll mix it with a drop of the debronzing serum from Drunk Elephant to give it a little bit of a tint and give me a little bit of color in the daytime. And then in my evening routine, I like to mix it sometimes with the Claire's Midnight Blue Calming Cream, or just apply this as one of the too many layers I use in my evening routine. I haven't had any issues with pilling for it, so that's always nice. And then, yeah, so very easy to use, absorbs pretty quickly, and sometimes it can set to a slightly tacky finish. But otherwise, very easy to use, no issues with that. Then we get to antioxidants and beneficial ingredients, and this one has a nice long list of good things. So, Sunflower oil, very good for hydrating skin. Then we've got Rhodiola rosea, which is an ingredient and an extract that is high in flavonoids as well as antioxidants, and it also has some research showing that it can help over time with fine lines, so that's great. Then we've got Ocimum Tenuiflorum, which is also known as holy basil, which helps the skin fight off environmental stressors, things like pollution, and it also has antimicrobial properties. Then we've got Withania somnifera extract, which is also known as ashwagandha, which is a great antioxidant for skin. We've got reishi mushroom extract, which is good for skin conditioning, a good antioxidant, and also good for hydrating skin. Then we've got aloe, squalane, jojoba seed oil, shea butter, vitamin E, allantoin. I always say that wrong, and you know what? In the middle of my sleep, QVC was doing some selling of something, and they're talking about that ingredient, and I'm like, now I know how to pronounce it correctly, and I totally forgot. Allantoin. I don't know. I'll keep reading. Sweet almond oil, borage seed oil, panthenol, and then we've got that pentapeptide 59, which is a good skin conditioning ingredient. It's a synthetic peptide consisting of arginine, histidine, phenylalanine, and valine. So a nice combination ingredient there, and that one is in the middle of the ingredient list, not at the bottom like I read it. So a very good list of beneficial ingredients for skin. Then we get to animal testing, and this is vegan as well as cruelty-free, so that's always a nice thing. Performance. So very nicely hydrating and soothing for skin. It works well in my morning and evening routines. It does contain a few acneogenic ingredients that I wanted to mention. We've got Octyl palmitate, glyceryl stearate, stearic acid, squalane, jojoba seed oil, vitamin E, and sweet almond oil all have some acneogenic properties, so keep those in mind. Then we get to the price, and the regular size is 2 ounces, 60 milliliters, and it retails for about $58, making it a little bit pricey, especially for something, in my opinion, if you're not going to transport it into another bottle or an Annuus jar, you're going to want to hurry it and use it up as fast as you can so it doesn't go bad on you. So the price is pricey. I mean, the price is pricey. For like $9 more, you could get the Drunk Elephant Protein, which I still love, and that comes in an Annuus jar, so... Then we get to the it factor, and I really do like this moisturizer, although I dislike the packaging. It does contain some really great ingredients that you don't see every day in a lot of products. It's pricey, it does contain some iffy ingredients for acne-prone skin, but overall, it's a very unique product, and I really do enjoy using it. And it was one of the more early to the scene with these adaptogens and things like that, so now you can find them a bit more easily in products, but it's still not super common in a lot. So overall, out of 10, I gave this a 7, which is still pretty good. A couple small changes, and I'd like it a lot more, but overall, it's still a nice product and certainly one worth checking out, especially if you haven't tried anything from Youth to the People before. So anyway, I'm interested in hearing from you guys if you've had a chance to try this yet, and if you have, what your thoughts are. So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you, and stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys.